Welcome to Bluestone Communications. Our company was founded in 2005 as a wholly owned subsidiary of Hatzel Buehler, the oldest electrical contractor in the United States. Our goal is to be the most professional and diligent technology and telecommunications contractor in the industry. We constantly strive to improve upon our performance and process in order to deliver unsurpassed value and satisfaction to our customers. In doing that, we have successfully developed long-standing relationships with significant and notable companies throughout the country. Bluestone's safety record exceeds the industry standards, with an ongoing effort to develop new and better health and safety plans. The safety of employees, clients, and general public is a vital concern to the management of Bluestone Communications. Therefore, it is our intent to conduct all operations of the company in the safest manner possible. On behalf of Bluestone Communications, I ask you to please join the Corporate Safety Initiative. Your thoughtful job site behavior will help us continue to provide a safe work environment for all of our employees, fellow tradesmen, and customers.
We believe that an incident-free work environment is achievable if all employees take responsibility for their safety, the safety of their co-workers, our clients, and the general public. Each employee will receive a safety handbook that outlines the basic safety rules to be followed. There's a sign-off page acknowledging your acceptance of the safety program and your commitment to safety. All employees are expected to wear clothing that's in good condition, free of cuts, holes, and without obscene slogans or words. As a minimum, long pants should cover the ankles. Shirts should be tucked in, and the sleeves should be at least 4 inches in length. Tank tops, shorts, and sneakers are not permitted.
Rings and jewelry shall not be worn if they create a greater hazard, such as around electrical hazards or rotating equipment. Customer requirements or special conditions may impose additional needs, such as flame retardant or arc-resistant clothing. When it comes to your conduct, we expect you to dress like a professional and act like one. Treat everyone with respect. Fighting, gambling, horseplay, or harassment of any kind will not be tolerated. Smoking is only permitted before or after work, during lunch, and at break times, and only in designated areas. To maintain a professional work site, and to help our workers stay focused on their responsibilities, cameras, radios, cell phones, and personal vehicles are not allowed on site without prior approval.
Check with your supervisor for site-specific requirements. The use or possession of alcohol or drugs is strictly prohibited. Our company and many of our clients reserve the right to test for drugs and alcohol upon initial hiring and may perform random tests as well as testing upon reasonable suspicion or cause.
All employees will be issued hard hats, safety glasses, and gloves. As a minimum, you'll be expected to properly wear your hard hat and safety glasses at all times while working.
Suitable gloves should be worn when working around sharp tools or sharp edges on equipment or objects. Remember to bring your safety equipment with you when assigned to a new location or project. Customer requirements or special conditions may require additional safety equipment, such as high visibility vests or flame retardant clothing. Check with your supervisor for site-specific requirements. Upon arrival to the job site, each project may have specific safety requirements that you will be advised of during the site orientation process or from your foreman or supervisor. Such information will include, but is not limited to, employee accountability and sign-in, sign-out requirements. You will also be informed of any emergency evacuation requirements, alarms and rally point locations, and emergency numbers for reporting fires or other emergencies.
You may also be told the locations of safety showers and eye wash stations as required, and information about any hazardous materials that may be in the vicinity.
To help minimize the possibility of injuries, we use a job safety analysis report. The JSA is required for all tasks. It is a proactive safety tool designed to identify and control hazards in the workplace. To be effective, it must be completed before starting work. Its purpose is to reduce employees' exposure to hazards by reviewing the tasks involved in performing the work and identifying hazards associated with those tasks.
After identifying the hazards, it becomes possible to eliminate them or determine how to protect employees from hazards by minimizing exposure or through the use of personal protective equipment.
All accidents, injuries, and near misses must be reported to your foreman or supervisor immediately so that prompt and proper medical assistance can be provided. Report all unsafe acts and conditions so that corrective actions may be taken to eliminate hazards. All incidents or damage to property must be reported immediately to your foreman or supervisor so that an incident investigation can be conducted. You will be required to complete an incident report and assist in the incident investigation. The point of the investigation is to fix the problem, not to assign blame. If you're involved in a company vehicle accident, stop and assist the injured if it's safe to do so. Call the police, emergency medical services, or 911. Move vehicles out of the traffic lane if it is safe to do so, and obtain the information on the other vehicles involved, including the driver and passenger names, phone numbers, vehicle license number, and state, and also make, model, and year of the vehicle. Take photos of other vehicles if possible. Photos should be taken at an angle and distance that shows the identifying information, such as the license plate or company names. Refer to the vehicle accident procedure card or accident report located in the glove compartment to help you get the proper information. An aerial lift, scissor lift, or scaffold is the preferred method of accessing an elevated area. If a ladder must be used, then inspect your ladder prior to use. Check for any cracks in the fiberglass. This usually occurs around the rivets, at the feet, and along the molded curves. Inspect the spreaders for any broken, bent, or missing fittings. Check the feet of the ladder to make sure they are in good condition, not worn down or missing. Check the steps and supports to make sure there is nothing missing, bent, or cracked. If you find a damaged ladder, take it out of service, tag it, and send it back to the warehouse so it can be repaired or replaced. When using a ladder, make sure you use it correctly. Do not stand on the top 2 steps, don't straddle the ladder, or sit on the top platform of the ladder. Never use a step ladder as a straight ladder. Step ladders must be fully open and spreaders locked down. Ladders must be placed on firm level surfaces. Do not carry tools or equipment while ascending or descending a ladder. It may cause you to slip or fall.
Maintain 3 points of contact while ascending or descending ladders. Do not use a ladder near an open side or open stairway. A barricade may not offer any protection if you're above the handrail. Repositioning the ladder may help, but a scaffold or aerial lift may be necessary to reach the workspace. If working above 6 feet, additional fall protection may be required.
Falls are the #1 injury that kills or seriously disables workers, so always use ladders properly.
You must be trained and certified in order to operate mobile equipment, such as an aerial lift or scissor lift.
Inspect the lift prior to use. Lifts are only used on stable, level surfaces, free of holes or openings that could cause the lift to tip over.
Make sure the guardrail system is complete and the mid-rail chain is in place when using the lift.
Keep the floor area clear of slip and trip hazards. Do not overload the lift with tools or equipment or too many workers. Keep your feet on the floor. Never climb or stand on the toe board, mid-rail, or handrail, and do not use a bucket or planking to stand on or work from. Make sure you're using all the proper fall and ejection hazard protection. Tie off when in the lift. Never operate a lift closer than 20 feet to overhead electrical lines. A good portion of our work is above the ceiling in existing work areas, so we must make sure that we inspect the space for any hidden hazards left behind by others.
When removing a ceiling tile, tilt it away from your head and make sure that no tools or equipment were left laying on top.
After the tile is removed, Use a flashlight to check the space above for any puncture hazards from the ceiling wire or threaded rod. Look for sharp edges on equipment, any hot pipes, and any possible energized electrical lines cut and left abandoned. We must assume that all electric lines are live until determined otherwise. Consider the size, shape, and weight of the material or object to be lifted. Never try to lift more than you can handle safely. Get help if you need it. Squat down, get as close to the object as possible, tilt the object to determine its weight, and make sure that it's not too heavy. Lift the object, keeping it as close to your body as possible, lifting with your legs and not your back. Inspect all tools and cords each day prior to use. Check the strain relief on the cord. If pulled out or if the cord is frayed or worn through, remove the cord or tool from service. Do not try to tape a worn cord. A ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, must be used for all electrical tools and power cords. You must be trained and certified to operate a Hildy gun. Inspect the tool each day prior to use. Do not load the tool until you're ready to use it. Never point the tool toward anyone and unload the tool when you're done. You must wear a hard hat, safety glasses or a face shield, and hearing protection when using powder-actuated tools. Know the tool's limitations and make sure that whatever you're shooting into is adequately backed up. All employees will receive weekly toolbox talks. It is important that you review this information and send a signed copy back to the office for proper documentation. If your job requires you to enter a confined space such as a manhole or excavation, specialized training and/or specific permitting is required prior to doing so.
Verify all possible sources of electrical energy that could feed the equipment. Check drawings, single line diagrams, and labeling. After interrupting the load, open the disconnecting devices for each source of energy.
If possible, visually verify that all blades on the disconnecting devices are fully open or that draw-out type breakers are withdrawn to the fully open position. Apply lockout tagout devices in accordance with documented and established policy. Use an adequately rated voltage detector. For instance, Category 3 instruments can be used on circuits operating at 480 volts. Category 2 can be used on single-phase 120 volt circuits.
Verification of absence of voltage is a three-step process. Test the meter on a known source.
Check for absence of voltage and test the meter again to ensure it's still working. Test each phase conductor or circuit part, both phase to phase and phase to ground,
where the possibility of induced voltages or stored electrical energy exists. Ground the phase conductors or circuit parts before touching them.
By providing you a safe and healthy work environment, we'll make sure you return home free of injury and incident.